Yeah, hey, this shit easy, nigga. Hey, all I'm talking about, nigga, I'm still out here trying to get it.
Contender Regime Boxing, checking back in with y'all, man. What's happening? My favorite fighter in the sport of boxing right now, JERMELL Iron Man Lions Only Charlo, is looking to fight Brian Castano. That fight is being worked out. Brian Castano is been vocally open publicly about, you know, being ready to get right back in the ring for Undisputed versus JERMELL CHARLO. Of course, JERMELL CHARLO, he already came out and did an interview with PBC and said that fight that's the next fight, you know. So that fight is gonna go down, and they're talking about June, this summer, 2021, June. And shout out to Blue Blood Sports TV, man, always coming with the hot takes, always coming with the breaking the news, man. And you know, shout out to Blue Blood. You know, ain't nobody working when it come to covering boxing. Ain't nobody working harder than Blue Blood Sports TV, man. He always own it, man, before everybody. You did what I'm saying. But he came out and he mentioned, you know, that they're possibly working on a June date, and they might also have the Erickson Lubin versus Jason Rosario fight as a co-main event or an undercard fight on that same card, which is awesome. I keep telling y'all, 154 is the most competitive division in the sport of boxing. Everybody is fighting. You not getting these matchups in no other division, really, bro. Like back to back to back to back like that. Like, bro, Jason Rosario versus Erickson Lubin, that's pure fireworks, bro. Like, that is pure fireworks. Somebody going to sleep in that motherfucker. You dig what I'm saying? And I think shit, you know, the Charlo and Castano fight, that fight, I think, you know, and we're gonna break both fights down later on down the line, but I think that fight is you know, that fight could go to a decision depending on how JERMELL chooses to approach that fight. But I think that fight is likely to end in knockout as well, Charlo and Castano. And you know, Lubin and Rosario, I just can't see that fight going the distance. Both guys got power. Both guys have been stopped before. Both guys actually been knocked out by JERMELL CHARLO. You know, and but Erickson Lubin has been getting better and better and better, and just, you know, I just love watching Erickson Lubin fight. He's one of my favorite guys to just watch fight in the ring because he's so talented, he's so skilled, so gifted, and I just want to see him continue to hone his craft and just get better. Jason Rosario, I know he's coming back and he wants to prove, like, you know, man, that win versus J-Rock wasn't a fluke. I'm really like that. And I know Jason Rosario is going to be strong. He going to come, you know, coming forward with a lot of aggression, a lot of punches, very thud and power, and just a lot of activity. And, you know, both, like I said, it's going to be exciting for all of those different reasons. But I really wanted to talk about, you know, JERMELL CHARLO and Castano. I'm excited about this fight. Number one is for Undisputed. You know, it's a great opportunity for both guys to further their careers. It's a huge opportunity for JERMELL CHARLO to, number one, be undisputed, continue to stake his claim as one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the sport of boxing. It's a shame that these other, you know, boxing media outlets, they don't have him on their pound-for-pound list, but we not even acknowledging that, right? You know, here on the Contender Regime boxing platform, JERMELL CHARLO is ranked number 3 pound-for-pound behind Terrence Crawford and Earl the True Spence Jr. So, you know, he is pound-for-pound undoubtedly. You can't question that. It's not, you can't pick, you know, outside of heavyweights, because I don't include heavyweights on the pound-for-pound list because they in the class that they own. You can't name me 10 other guys that are more talented, more skilled, more complete, and more accomplished than JERMELL CHARLO. You just can't do it. And that's actively right now fighting the best guys and putting on the best performances. You can't name me 10 other guys that's doing that better than JERMELL CHARLO. You know, this guy has the will to win, the hunger to compete. You know, and he just want to be the best and show everybody that he is really like that. And I'm a fan of Brian Castano as well because I love his style. If you go back and watch the Patrick Teixeira fight, that fight went exactly how I thought Castano was going to stop Teixeira, but I mean, it went down to the wire. It was a bloody war. Castano came forward every night with tactical, intelligent aggression. And he puts his punches together very well. He's a great offensive fighter. I love watching Castano fight. And that's why I think that, you know, Charlo and Castano is going to be nothing but fireworks. I think it's going to be interesting to see how JERMELL chooses to approach. Does he want to box off the back foot and let Castano kind of walk himself into traps? Because we know one thing. Number one, Castano is a shorter guy with the shorter reach. So he ain't got no choice but to come forward, right? So we know he's going to be coming forward in that fight. And we don't, you know, it depends on if JERMELL want to, you know, box off the back foot kind of like he did with Rosario and let Castano walk himself into some big shots, set traps, be patient. You know, JERMELL, when he wants to, man, he can be extreme. Like, go back and watch the Rosario fight. Just pay attention to JERMELL Charlo's eyes. He's so poised and just so calm. And in that fight, this was the calmest and the most poised and the most calculated that I've seen JERMELL Charlo in a long time. It's like people were worried about him getting down on the cards just because of the activity of Rosario. But really, you know, JERMELL was making Rosario miss a lot of those big shots. He tied up when you were supposed to kind of stop Rosario from getting, you know, too busy and getting too much in a rhythm, and then he'll let him go and then continue on, you know, boxing, setting traps, using his jab, you know, and then, you know, catching him with big shots whenever he could. He was really looking to land that left hook, which he did. He dropped Rosario in the 6th round with the left hook. You know, that's one of his best punches along with the uppercut. I mean, he can throw every punch, man. I love JERMELL Charlo's punch variation. It's vast. One of the best in boxing. So, you know, that was one of the most calmest and most cool and collected performances that I've seen from JERMELL. And I think he could put that same type of performance together versus Castano. You know, or he could stand right there in the middle of the ring and just bang it out with Castano. He's the bigger guy, the stronger guy. He can fight on the inside. He can fight at mid-range. I can really see this fight being like a war in the middle of the ring from mid-range. Not necessarily on the inside like a phone booth type fight how Teixeira and Castano was, but I can see this fight being more so fought in the middle of the ring from mid-range. And however long it lasts, you know, I can see them guys, you know, having a chess match from mid-range and just seeing who can take the best shot, who can, you know, have the better head movement and the better timing and land their shots and, you know, see if they can get one another out of there, man. But that's going to be a hell of a fight. And I just wanted to make this video to shed light on the fact that, you know, that JERMELL Charlo, that's the kind of guy that you want as a boxing fan. That's the kind of guy that you look to. That's the kind of guy that you root for. You know what I'm saying? That's the kind of guy that deserves the respect and to be uplifted and honored as a fighter because he truly wants to be the best. He wants to fight the best, and he's not playing no pussy games. He ain't out here talking about, well, you know, maybe I'll fight him next. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'll fight this guy. He ain't on that pussy shit, man. He want to fight right now. He want to unify all the titles. He want to be undisputed. He don't want to leave no stone unturned. You know what I'm saying? JERMELL Charlo is not with the pussy ass games. And the sooner you other boxing fans that claim to be boxing fans and these boxing media outlets and all, as soon as y'all start getting hip, you know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna recognize and realize some real shit. You dig what I'm saying? Y'all gonna start seeing the real separated from the fake. You know, all these boys out here, you know, picking and choosing who they fight and, you know, maybe I'll fight him next or maybe I'll fight him later on down. Man, fuck all that. You know what I'm saying? JERMELL Charlo with the smoke right now. You know what I'm saying? Like I told you, bro, you ain't never heard of JERMELL Charlo turning down no phase. You dig what I'm saying? And that's how he coming, man. And I respect that. You know, above anything, whatever else these other guys got going on, man. I respect JERMELL Charlo more than any of these guys. You know what I'm saying? Because he really got the heart of a lion. So, and shout out again to Erickson Lubin, man, continuing to, you know, he took a tough fight versus Terrell Gausha. That was it was a little lackluster because it was more so of a chess match. when I predicted that fight, I thought it was gonna be like half chess match, half dog fight, but it was like a full chess match. There were some big shots landed. Garcia landed a shot or two, you know, that was significant in that fight. Lubin landed some big shots on Garcia. It was a very tactical fight, and if you're a boxing purist, you could appreciate that, you know, but it wasn't what I thought it was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be more of action packed. But again, I told you I was gonna be half chess match, half dog fight. It just turned out to be more of a chess match, which is still fine. It just depends on what style of boxing you prefer to watch. But with this fight with Lubin and Rosario, dog, you know what Rosario coming to do. You know what I'm saying? Now, Lubin, he's the more complete fighter. He's more versatile. You know, he can sit there and bang it out, which he got power in both hands. You know, they call him the hammer, man. You know, Jack and Sledge. You dig what I'm saying? So he can sit there and pound it out with you, you know what I'm saying, and try to get you up out of there, or he can box. Very versatile, very skilled. You know, he can really do it all, man. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited for these fights that we're hearing about, that are getting ironed out, and we're getting dates for these fights and things like that. So we already talked about how poppin' May is about to be. You know, you got some good fights coming up in May, and then June, I feel like June gonna kick up even more, because you got potential fight. You got Crawford might come back. Errol Spence Jr. could potentially fight Ugas in June or July. So summer 2021 is gonna be lit, and I'm extremely excited, man. But I really wanted to shed light on, you know, JERMELL CHARLO, Erickson Lubin, Rosario, Castano, and the 154-pound division, just to again put emphasis on this shit, man. Look, this is what boxing is about. Y'all gotta stop trying to discredit the 154-pound division. Super welterweight is where it's at, you know, and these guys are really setting the stage and the example on how these other divisions should be carrying themselves. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no pussy shit going on. These guys are fighting. These guys are fighting. And you know, one of the common themes is that most of these guys are under one, you know, network or promotional outfit, right? So that helps. But at the same time, man, you know, shit, Patrick Teixeira is with Golden Boy. Castano is with PBC. But they made it happen, though. You know what I'm saying? Now it was a mandatory. It did go to purse bid, so that's a huge part of it. But the thing is that both of those guys, they wanted to fight. Shout out to Patrick Teixeira. He wanted that fight. And shit, Teixeira even came out and said he was willing to fight Charlo for Undisputed right away. But he had to take care of his mandatory, which Castano actually got the win and put himself in position to fight JERMELL CHARLO for Undisputed. You know what I'm saying? But this is how you do this shit, man. None of these pussy ass games, man. 154 is where it's at. Y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments, man. You know, how do y'all feel about these two fights? Charlo versus Castano and Erickson Lubin versus Jason Rosario, man. Tell me, we already talked kind of a little bit about Charlo and Castano, but tell me what y'all think about Lubin and Rosario. How y'all feel about that fight, man? Y'all let me know down in the comments, man. Contender regime, boxing. I'll holla at y'all boys, man.